Here's something I've always had a bit of trouble understanding. So, one of the stereotypes is that the whole reason women have body positivity issues is because men make them feel like shit for not looking 100% like a film star, having unrealistic body expectations with women, which of course totally doesn't happen with men at all. There's nobody advocating for men to be criminalised just for looking at a woman that didn't find him attractive, but that's the stereotype that men are the driving force between the driving force of women having self-esteem issues. We're just too fussy. The other stereotype is that we're horn dogs who fuck everything. Doesn't sound like those two things go together, and it's something that's always, well, it's not baffled me really. I won't say it's baffled me, because when you don't belong to a protected class, when there's no sort of special interest groups that are allowed to look out for you, people can say two completely contradictory things about you and they're seen as both true. But I was thinking, and this is something I've actually asked women before, and they always had the same answer. I always say to them, whenever the topic of like body positivity comes up, I ask them, how many times have they been body shamed in their lives? And they'll tell me loads, thousands. And I'll say to them, how many of those times were by women? And the honest ones always stop and think, and then they're like, oh yeah, because it does seem to me as though most of the body shaming that women go through comes from other women. And I think there was a study done a few years ago where it turned out that most of the online misogyny came from other women. And I'm willing to bet a lot of that was to do with appearance. So really, women are the reason why women have self-esteem issues. I mean, I'm sure someone will find a way to blame that on men. But the truth is, I don't know about you, but with me and with a lot of guys that I know, if a woman apologises for turning up to a meet-up or having a video call with no makeup on, I and quite a lot of guys that I know will say we don't mind. In fact, that's another stereotype as well that doesn't go with the main thing. We say that men are so fussy about physical appearance in women, and it's got to a point where women feel dirty if they don't look perfect. But yeah, isn't there a stereotype that men don't notice changes? Isn't there the stereotype of a woman changing her hair and the boyfriend doesn't even notice it? It's all these things that just don't go together. Now, if you were to ask me, how would I sort out women body shaming other women, how would I sort it out if I was in the position where I could? I actually don't know how I would do that. If I suppose I could try looking at it try doing it with the feminist method that's used on men. You know how when you point out to a feminist that it's actually men that are more likely to be physically assaulted in public, the feminists will always say, well, yeah, but that's mostly by other men. If men just talk to each other more and asked each other to stop beating the shit out of each other, the problem would go away. Men are more likely to commit suicide than women. Their response is usually, well, if men talk to each other more. Basically, anytime you bring up a man's issue, it's always other men cause that if men just talk to each other more and ask each other to stop, assuming that not only are we all on the same level, but that we men also have this phone line that we can just ring and get put through to every man on the planet, and every man on the planet will listen to what we say. I could try that shit. I could say, well, if women don't like body positivity and if women don't like body shaming, then maybe they should ask each other politely to stop body shaming each other. But the thing is that I know that women are a collection of individuals, rather than just a collective with a hive mind. So I know that's not simple. But what I would say is certainly stop blaming men for body shaming women when, at least in my experience, and I'm willing to bet the experience of a lot of women I know, the body shaming comes from other women. And I'd even go as far as to say a lot of the body shaming men put up with comes from women as well. Of course, the feminists will disagree with me and say that's not true, it comes entirely from other men, as does the body shaming of women. But there you go. And so that's one of the little things I was pondering at 11:15 p.m. on a Tuesday evening, when I should really be asleep. You can tell that I'm tired by my lack of preparedness for this video. You can tell I made this video on the... What's going on? A lot of movement upstairs. You can tell I made this video completely off the cuff.